Hello folks, see if it's working yet. Might just go and get a little tool to help me here. Should have probably done this before I started the live, but there you go. How you doing this morning? Beautiful Sunday morning. Getting this in the appropriate place. Oh shit, maybe I can't do this the right way. It's getting stranger. Does it work if I do that? No, it doesn't. How do I make that work? Somebody gave me a selfie stick so that I could stop holding the phone. It doesn't seem to be working as All right, can you hear me now? I'm still hitting buttons and moving things around. Bloody phones do stupid things. Thank you, Sue. Yeah, Tony's let me know. I figured that's why didn't know that's why he was ringing me, but yeah, clearly so. Oh, okay, now we've got this. So am I right in saying you've had no sound right from the word go, like for the last 7 minutes? Is that right? Yeah, right, okay. Oh, fuck. Well, I'm doing a Carl. It is a Sunday morning, and I have yet to have my coffee. So, where are we? I'll start again, shall I? Shit, I'm sorry, folks. The problem is, I've got this phone hooked up to different Bluetooth things in the bus, and if I'm standing near the bus, it takes over a microphone in the headset that I wear while I'm driving. So, my apologies, didn't realise that was still turned on. So, yeah, where are we at? We're in Gundagai, so we had to leave this morning. Unfortunately, unable to get to Wangaratta today, Cass and I, simply because of the very tight time frame that Cass is on to get to Queensland, and my inability to drive at night would have meant we'd essentially be a day behind if we had have stayed for Wangaratta today. So thank you to David and the team. They're going to take over for us today. In Wangaratta, if you are keen to look into gold and silver and find out how you can build your wealth, and safeguard your wealth, because that's really what this is about. The stock market is going to crash. When? Can't tell you, but it's shaky. I mean, if you know anything about the stock market, it's doing absolutely the opposite to what you would expect it to do, given the market pressures at the moment. That can't continue. America is printing $1 trillion a week. That's $1 trillion worth of debt a week. It can't continue. The world knows that can't continue. That's why BRICS is coming into being. And if you want to learn more about that and find out how that actually works, today's seminar with Ainslie will tell you how that really plays out, and just sort of what sort of returns you can expect on your super fund. Now, you can go into your super fund and check what the projected return is. If that is something you're happy with, that return, then stick with it. But if you go along and have a bit of a chat with Ainslie today, you'll find that gold has increased 580% this year. 580%. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon, that might be from the year 2000. It's increased 580% since the year 2000. In the last year, it has gone crazy again. Silver has gone up 25% in the last few weeks. So what does that mean? Well, that means that if you took your super out, and let's say you had 150 grand and you put it all into gold, and let's say you did this 2 weeks ago, your 150 grand would be now closer to $200,000 worth of value of gold, because the gold appreciates and it's yours. So that doesn't go in fees to your superannuation company. It doesn't go in marketing costs, and the plethora of commissions paid out to those brokers who help you with your super. A self-managed super fund is not hard to administer. There's really only a couple of things you have to do every year, and one of those is the audit, and that is as simple as taking a photo of your gold and silver with the current day's paper in front of it. That's how simple it is. It is not your money, it is your super company's money. You start a super company, a self-managed super trust. You are just a member of the trust, but the trust owns the super. So you can't take your super out and go and buy a boat. But there are things you can go and buy. But there are limits. And if you are going to go and put it into artwork, by all means go and buy a Van Gogh, but don't hang it on your wall. Rent it to somebody and let them hang it on theirs. If you're going to go and buy a classic car, you can do that, but you can't drive it. So there are certain limitations if you're going to go and spend your money like that, but there are no limitations if you're just putting it into the metal. But you can find that out today at the Quality Hotel in Wangaratta. It'll get underway from 2 o'clock today with Katrina, the lovely Katrina, and David from Ainslie, Melbourne. They're your local bullion dealers, I suppose, for Victoria. and the southwestern part of New South Wales. They have all sorts of great ways for you to buy, sell and trade your gold and silver, your precious metals. And if you'd like to learn out more about that today, and trust me, anybody can do this with down to 1/10 of a gram of gold sales, you know, a little bar like that, or all the way up to kilos if that's what you so desire. So we've pulled up. We left early this morning, and we're a couple of hours from Canberra. We're at Gundagai at the moment. Cass is doing a live herself with Mick Sims, and once that's finished, we'll hit the road and keep going. I did show you a bit of what's going under here. So lights are working to a point. You see that strange red wire that's attached to this thing here? That's a reset switch. So this is the junction in here that keeps blowing, or the fuse that keeps blowing. So now I've just got a reset fuse on that. I just come out and push that and it starts everything up again. Tony Alvarez, a marvellous man from Lake Oberon Estate, is going to make the drive a couple of hours or more to Canberra tomorrow to help me. We probably wind up relaying our low beam cable, because it is the low beam that keeps blowing everything. It's got nothing to do with the high beams or the brights. It is entirely to do with the low beam. So, and that's part of the mess of it down in there. It extends back up in here, and then there's a whole heap underneath it as well, which makes it a lot more difficult. So Tony knows I have limitations. I'm very good at handling tools. I know the name of tools, but what to do with those tools can be, well, another question altogether at times. So I'm indebted to Tony for coming down and helping me here. We'll get these lights going come hell or high water, and keep them going. That's the big issue. But there are a few little shorts in the old girl, so I think when we get back to Queensland, going to make a concerted effort and find as many of these problems as we can. I think I've figured out how to take the dash off. So there's an awful lot of wires not attached too much underneath the dash of this thing too. So we might go and find out what they're attached to at the other end and see whether or not there's any power in them. They could be creating shorts. To give you an idea, there are some strange things that happen in the bus with the shorts. It has a heating system that works on gas bottles, which are full at the moment, but for whatever reason my gas hot water system wants to continually be running, and that means the heater is continually running, and that means the gas is continually running, and that means that if you go for a drive for 3 or 4 or 5 hours, you've got no gas left, which is a pain in the bum. So that's a bit of an issue. That's a short. And then I woke up, I was sitting in the lounge last night, just before going to bed, and all of a sudden the floor heating came to life, but not the heater part, just the fan. So there was no gas involved with that part, but the fan, for whatever reason, and I hadn't moved anywhere, it was just weird, it came to life. So there are a few little foibles with the wiring, and I have a sneaking suspicion most of it's under the dash. So we're going to have a play with that. And if we fix it, we fix it. If we don't, we'll fix it. That's all it has to be. So that's the plan for today. Head along to Wangaratta if you're in that area, folks, and get along to the Ainslie Bullion Freedom Financial Solutions seminar on building your own wealth and protecting what you've got, taking control of it, and making sure that you don't have to answer to anybody for what you do with it. And we'll head off to Canberra. I'll drop Cass at home, probably help start loading a few things, because along with the dogs, I'm bringing a trailer back that'll have quite a lot of her stuff on it too. So we'll get all that loaded up. And the plan is to leave Canberra sometime Thursday. There's a few people in Canberra I'm trying to catch up with. So Daniel, I'm not sure if you're in the chat. Very keen to catch up with you, mate. And I think you sent me your email address or your actual address in an email. I'll get you to do it again for me, mate. There's probably 70,000 emails above that email now, and I really wouldn't know where to find it. Get a hold of that. Give me a phone number I can call you on if there is such a thing, and I'll set up a time where I can catch up with you. Jinder Lee, also keen to catch up with you in Canberra too, and anybody else in Canberra. I'll be in Epic, but like I say, tomorrow we'll be working pretty much solidly on the bus, and want to help Tony. He's come a long way to help me. I don't want to stand around and watch him do all the work. So please help us out with that. Thank you, Daniel. All right, I'm going to take a screenshot of that right now. So there you go, got that. I guess you're home, Daniel, most days. If there is a good time, send me an email, carl@vofhq.com, and I'll see if I can make it for that time. Tomorrow I'm going to be helping Tony. Tuesday might be the day to catch up, or tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. We might go out and have dinner if you're up for that, or I don't know, we'll figure something out. And yeah, Jindalee, I want to catch up with you too, mate. I want to shake your hand and thank you for everything you've done. There are a few people that I would like to thank I've met on this trip. Sully and Kim in Melbourne. I met them at the market day with Vic West Organics, the lovely Doris and Maddie show. I've been meaning to mention you guys, well, basically since then, but it's just keeps eluding me. Well, so does turning on the microphone, but that's a whole other story. So yeah, Sully and Kim, lovely to catch up with you, and thank you for the sentiments that you passed on, and it means a great deal. I've met so many wonderful people again on this trip. Some, you know, I've met before. We've become old friends, and I'm always meeting new people on these trips, and it's wonderful to make those friends and have that connection. I can't thank you enough, and we're going to keep doing it. Look forward to doing it for the rest of my life, if that's what it takes, folks. If it takes the rest of my life, we're going to sort this out. And if meeting you helps me build the army, then bloody great. So I'm right up for that. We had a lovely night last night, a beautiful dinner with the Ainslie folks, and then I'm headed off to a very early night. I was up early this morning sorting out the bus, trying to align a few things so that for a long drive they don't unload themselves, and I've semi-succeeded. Turns out, you know those Dyson vacuums? I've got one of those Dyson vacuums that came with the bus, and I took the charging unit down off the wall that was hanging in the toilet shower area, and I put it back up again a couple of days ago. I've just discovered I've put it in upside down because I've managed to unload the Dyson vacuum cleaner into the toilet this morning, or onto the toilet. The lid was down, so it didn't go into the toilet. But yes, interesting things you find when you're travelling around the countryside in one of these, and I'm yet to figure out how to keep everything from self-unloading. When you go to open a cupboard door, you stand underneath it, you stand back a bit, and you stand with your arms out. So clearly I'm not the world's greatest packer when it comes to things like that. Or I have discovered you need to jam as much shit into these cupboards as you can so that it doesn't move. But anyway, there's no shortage of crap floating around the bus. I'll let you go, folks. Cass must be just about nearly done, and we're going to hit the road and make it to Canberra. I will talk to you again tonight, and I will have had a chance to have a look at a bit of Telegram and see what else is going on. So we'll see how it goes. It's called the Downs, Tone. Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll talk about that another day. So that's it for now. I'll talk to you again later on this afternoon once we've got to Canberra and sorted out a few things, and I'm probably set up in Epic. Hooroo, have a good day. Watch out for the dickheads on the roads. It's the end of a long, long weekend, and there are coppers everywhere. Hooroo.